Got up this morning, things weren't working right. I said I wanna make a change. I said I wanna fight. Obama walked up and said, yes, we can. I said I wanna ride your nuts, cause I think you're the...
Hey, how's it going? I don't know where Trey went.
Decided to kill the intro?
I didn't do anything.
I literally am away from the keyboard.
I was just listening to it.
I literally am away from the keyboard. Somebody click something.
I didn't touch anything.
Somebody touched
See,
something.
I have hands away from the keyboard. You guys did it.
Okay.
You dicked it up.
What did I walk into?
Steve's fault again.
Okay,
Steve,
I'll see you guys later then.
No, it's all right. We need the boomerism around here. That's why we keep you around, since Clyde's not part of this anymore. I mean, I guess he's technically part of it. He just doesn't actually show up for shows anymore. But we gotta have you're the resident boomer, and Trey's the resident redhead. We still maintain the same balance that we had when we started all this. Just the face of change.
It's a delicate formula.
Yes. And it's funny because we used to have Carlos and Jim as the occasional guest drop in to add a little bit of flavor or something. And now that's kind of Jay's role. Like he's more the recurring occasional guest. So that's kind of his spot as the infrequent extra. See, if Trey ever gets this video game figured out, we got new minions and stuff to add. We got Steve for a new boss level. We got Josh for a new stage enemy.
Yeah, see, I need to rework it. I need to make Clyde like the final boss. He's gonna have to be the final boss or something.
With all of his sexual energy or whatever that he brings.
Sexual energy.
And then all of a sudden his after you beat Clyde, Clyde's wife comes in there and starts beating him, and then you have to fight her.
Oh yeah, just when you thought you beaten the boss, you're like, oh no, this is the boss.
Oh, we'd have to find that night show that we did where she busted him, and have you defeated him, and then that screen pops up of her over his shoulder, and then it's flashes, and now you've got to fight Clyde's wife.
That'd make a great intro.
That was hilarious.
It'd make a good T-shirt. I want that picture and put it on a T-shirt. I think I've said that before.
What we got to talk about today?
There's a bunch of racists in Chicago.
What?
You
Racism?
You have a bunch of racists in Chicago that are demanding that all the immigrants get sent home, all the illegals.
You went above the law, and where you gonna run to when Trump pulls that Trump card out on you?
There's a 10-year prison sentence when you want to stand up here for those illegals.
You all stood up there and said you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in $1 billion deficit. And you spent half of our money, half of that. You campaign and double down that you would not raise property taxes. I ain't gonna do that. You campaigned went around doing that. And here we are right now. You wanted to raise our taxes $300 million. They shut it down. Now we back here for $150 million. Okay. See, this is what we asking now. Since you want to crash out, some of y'all say y'all willing to go to jail for it. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example of this Negro right here first. Please come here first. Because you know what? We're going to help you. We want to forensic.
Ma'am, I would ask that you
keep
your, hold on a second. Stop her time. Stop her time. Just a second. Stop her time. Ma'am, I would ask that you, if you want to continue speaking, you have to make sure that your language is appropriate. Okay?
She said Negro. That's the problem.
Yeah.
A black woman said Negro.
You can.
She needs to have appropriate language.
She's still yelling. She's still yelling.
She's still screaming at him.
Man, so
I just can't believe how many racists there are in Chicago.
Back after Brandon Johnson got elected, they went on a big push to set up all these like food banks and camps and stuff. Like they were building like nice, basically like tent cities for all of these immigrants. And meanwhile, the people on the south side of Chicago are like watching. And granted, they are huge contributors to the problem, but they're watching as they're now being like stuck in the middle of food deserts because all of these grocery stores and other stores are closing and everything else, and everything's leaving, and they're getting no support from the city of Chicago at all. Chicago is then building all this stuff, doing all this stuff for the immigrants, not doing anything for the actual like. It was crazy. Like they were.
Didn't Chicago say
I'm
they
surprised.
They were gonna make their own their own grocery store because of that?
Yeah, they were going to do their state-owned grocery store.
Yeah,
we all know how that works.
Have they gotten that off the ground yet?
No, they killed that idea within like a month.
Was that for were you talking about like a state grocery store, like a co-op?
No,
it was going to be a city run.
It was owned
like
by the city.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, there are actually like a couple examples where like something like that's successful, but it's like it's not in a city. It's in like somewhere that's so goddamn rural. You know what I mean? Like it's like the exact opposite. You know, of like a city. It's like it's just so fucking rural, but it's like they sort of had to put something there. You know, some sort of food.
Well, I know
establishment, but it's it's a different situation.
I know a lot of places like they'll offer incentives like, hey, like if you build a grocery store here, we'll give you huge tax breaks, and it's basically like they paid for it for in rural areas because it's like we need a grocery store, so we will give you whatever you need, kind of.
Yeah, and maybe the people there, maybe they don't. I'm sorry, the nice way to say it, they don't have the same problem with shrinkage as they do in cities. I was telling you guys about the other day about listening to the Black Power show on Sunday. They're talking about the grocery stores, and the lack of them. And of course, I just scream, then build one, start one, run your own, just do it. No, somebody else has to come do it. So I have something to bitch about.
Libertarian answer for everything. There we go.
It is. Just fucking do it. Stop bitching and do it. Nobody's coming to save you. Do it yourself. Yeah.
Well, and especially in some of those situations and cities and stuff like that, like if the building is there and all these cities like really tout how much they want to invest into black-owned businesses and stuff like that, like there are ways to just get money from these city grant programs and stuff to do something like that. So yeah, just go fucking do it. Like, you would be the least scrutinized person on the planet trying to do that yourself as a black person in inner city type situation.
Problem is nobody wants to open up a grocery store down there because they'll all get, people just walk in and grab stuff and leave. Yeah. I mean, unless it was all sunscreen in the aisle. Yep. Unless they just sold sunscreen. Nothing would happen.
The sunscreen store, untouched.
Wait, I do remember. I don't know where it was, but I do remember that they were locking up stuff like that, like even sunscreen, whatever. Because for some reason, just stealing whatever, like during
that was in Oakland. Oakland's a different animal.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the other thing. Then they kind of steal sunscreen and then sell it. Yeah. sell it on the black market.
That's what I was about to say. They figured out if you steal the sunscreen, then you can pawn the sunscreen to white people. And...
You sell it at the farmer's market, okay? Yeah. Well, just walk through the farmer's market. Sunscreen.
No, you just put it up on Facebook Marketplace. That's where all the stolen goods go.
Here's what you do. If you're gonna steal sunscreen, okay, you have to steal a whole bunch of sunscreen, and then you go to like a water park or something like that. You stand right outside, and you're like, "Hey, sunscreen for sale, sunscreen for sale," and you just barely undercut the prices in the park, but you're still it's such an upcharge that like you know because you bought it from like Walmart or whatever. Like that's way less, especially if you bought the like real or if you grab the really cheap brand. Like you're making way more money like if you're upcharging it like.
Geez, we were in Florida, man.
Profit margin
little bottle of sunscreen was like $16. It was insane.
Yeah, like Orlando, those
old type of sunscreen that killed 4 weeks allegedly. So they had to change to the new type of expensive. Oh, so it was killing coral reefs, and that's the shit you've been telling me to put on my skin. But
yeah, right.
Just people swimming in the ocean is enough of it comes off to kill the fucking coral reef. Dude, Lewis Black's joke from back in the day, dude. I swear that's the skin cancer, the fucking sunscreen, man. It just doesn't. I don't know. So I know we talked about this before, but like, is it like incentive of the doctor, or or what? Like, it's like the COVID thing. Like, if they say it looks cancerous, insurance will pay for it, kind of thing. But they're like, skin cancer is increasing in numbers across the country, and it's like, but we're all wearing more sunscreen than ever. So what the fuck? You could argue maybe it's a reporting thing, sure, but it's got to be something environmental, dude.
Maybe the problem is the sunscreen.
Whatever.
Look, it's obviously climate change. It's obviously. That's the only
That's
thing
why
that
it's increasing. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, you're right. Well, shut my mouth.
I'm
on my way to go. It's 51 here now. I'm going. I'm hesitant to call it a hike because you don't really hike in Florida. It's more like a walk in the woods because we don't really have much in the way of hills or mountains, So I've been told
it's all
that
flat
you don't
surfaces.
go hiking in Florida. Yeah. But I'm going.
That's what you're doing, dang. You're trail walking.
Yeah. I'm going trail walking in the Manatee Lake State Park or something.
Don't get raped by the manatees.
Buddy of mine. We're gonna cook goat burgers.
Cover your butthole.
Yep. I plan to stay clear of the manatees. They tend to stay in the water, so it's one of them land cows.
Land cow. Well, we were talking about Chicago. They're gonna, they're prepared to, get arrested for if they come in there trying to deport the illegals. But apparently, Eric Adams is more than happy to work with Tom Homan and Trump. So here's what he had to say.
Those who are here committing crimes, shooting up police officers, raping people, have been a harm to our
Turn it up.
country. I
That's
want
the
to
max
sit
I
down
can
and get
go.
a plan on how we're going to address them. Those are the people I am talking about, and I would love to sit down with the Board of Czar and hear his thoughts on how we're going to address those who are harming our citizens. Open to
hearing what their plan is to deport some of these folks, and you think the city, in some circumstances, should cooperate with us.
Let me. You know what's interesting? And I was talking to the team the other day. I want you to all go back and Google Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama.
Goo-goo. No, he said goo-goo.
Those who commit crimes in our city, and what they said in our country. They said those who commit crimes need to get out right away. That was their position. So this is not a new position, because in the state of in the era of cancel culture, no one's afraid to be honest about the truth. Well, cancel me, because I'm going to protect the people of the city. And if you come into this country, in this city, and think you're going to harm innocent New Yorkers and innocent migrants and asylum seekers, this is not the mayor.
So,
did you see like the leftist take on that? Oh, this is just Eric Adams trying to get in good with Trump so that Trump will give him a pardon whenever he gets charged with whatever the bullshit charges that they're bringing up on him are.
We're deporting people now, dead ass dog.
I think that
I'm Black Trump. I'm pivoting.
I think that the people like Eric Adams and some of these other mayors have wanted to deport them, but they weren't able to. And now that Trump is coming in office, now they're able to actually do what they wanted to do and get rid of them. I think they kind of had their.
They're malleable. It's politically advantageous right now.
It is, but I also
Eric Adams is a moron. He ran on a platform of like, we want more immigrations. We're gonna be a sanctuary city. For anybody that needs a place,
he's turning.
We'll take them in. And then what happened was they took him up on that. They just dumped hundreds of thousands, if not more than that, in New York, and then it became a problem. And when it became a problem, then he started saying, "Hey, maybe like we need to stop doing this. This is becoming a problem." And they didn't like that, so they just kept doing it anyway. And then he got real vocal in public about it. And then they brought up this it's like a campaign financing thing. And it's one of those things, like if you go and look at it, it's one of those things that literally everybody does. But
you talk about all the money he took from the Turks.
Yeah, so they're going to use that to like hammer him because he had the audacity to go against the regime, basically the Harris Biden.
Did you see that though, Justin? All the Turkish money, that was wild.
Turkish money? What's this?
You talking about
Eric Adams
took?
took?
Are you talking about
the actual Turkish, like people from Turkey, the country, not the animal?
No,
it wasn't Thanksgiving.
I thought you were talking about the Young Turks. The Young Turks. I thought they donated to him.
Yeah, that's almost what I thought you were talking about too. Someone from the Young Turks. You guys remember? I know we played it on the show before. The video that he did about finding drugs in your kid's kid's bedroom. You know, and he's like, right here, mine looks like an innocent backpack, but inside, now it looks like just a simple orange cart. But if we look inside, it's actually full of illegal Mexicans.
Yeah, right.
Your corner bodega, actually, full of illegal Colombians.
The Bible your kid has on his nightstand, we open it up and look. Oh, look, he's cut out for a gun in there.
Oh, remember? Yeah, he had that illegal gun in there. That's right.
Yeah.
I just want to know where he got the illegal gun from. They should have busted him right there.
How important my crusade is removing illegal handguns off the streets of New York. Hi, I'm New York State Senator Eric Adams, and for 22 years, I wore a bulletproof vest and stood on the street corners and protected children and families in the city of New York. I'm asking you to join me in this crusade of removing illegal handguns off our streets and out of our homes. But you also have to protect the institution.
Yeah,
there are no First Amendment rights inside your household. It is your obligation and responsibility not only to protect the child
Fourth Amendment, you dumb fucker,
an illegal drug or carrying an illegal gun, but you also have to protect the members of the household, their younger brothers, their younger sisters, and the other elder members of the household. So by periodically sending a message to your home that there are no rooms off limit in the room. You can look at a jewelry box. A jewelry box of this nature, maybe a simple
there is no right to privacy. There is
closely,
no.
You don't know what your child may be hiding.
Oh, you want to say something?
In your home,
he pulls up a gun, right?
In your home, your child is under your jurisdiction. They have no privacy. No, it's up to you, and you've got to be strict on that. Unless you move to Vermont, in which case you have no rights as a parent, and the schools can decide what happens to your kids.
And what gender they are.
For instance, a gun could be hidden. A small caliber weapon could be hidden inside a jewelry box. Look at the.
So, as mayor of New York, I'm assuming they have like some ceremonial Timberlands they pass down. So, do you think Mayor Adams is wearing the ones that Rudy Giuliani wore?
Look through it. to see what exactly is your child carrying in addition to a book. Something simple as a crack pipe, a used crack pipe.
A Bolivian.
Oh god.
That's great. I love it. That was funny.
Imagine running this PSA thing, talking about finding a used crack pipe in your kid's stuff, and then several years later, I mean, not even that many years later, the Biden administration giving out free crack pipes.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I could have got one for free. Why did I pay for one?
Should have been rifling through my kids' shit. I could have just waited a little while.
Man, patience pays, they do say. So.
I'm looking for something here. Hold on. Oh, here we go. So, yeah, speaking of crack pipes and Hunter Biden. There we go. I found this was interesting.
Crack cocaine. No bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand. 1/4 of $1. We
Damn it.
passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurman and myself. A law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice. Under our forfeiture statutes, the government.
I just found that was interesting. Biden's speech about crack cocaine and then Hunter Biden smoking the crack cocaine in the same video. It's like, unless it's your son, everybody else goes to jail. Everybody that's, selling it and stuff.
Yep. Turns out some people are above the law.
Yep, they are.
Well, speaking of the law, apparently some happenings happened yesterday. The South Korean government declared martial law. That was interesting. So South Korea went under full martial law for a little bit. I think that it's already lifted. I can't like the way some of these news outlets.
Godzilla scare.
yeah, that was Godzilla scare. They started seeing it, come out of the water over there, and then they had to declare martial law.
It turns out this martial law was the only way that they could break the 4B movement over there.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's funny.
You gotta
forcibly applying makeup.
There's your tweet there.
Yeah,
there's your tweet.
Thank you.
You gotta make the women, start marrying these guys and everything. So
Oh, that's
it's gonna
funny.
be arranged marriages. But anyway, so here's what this guy says. I asked my Korean coworker what was going on in South Korea. Hey, what's going on in South Korea? Not sure. Playing League of Legends. They declared martial law or something. League of Legends. Because they're that's a popular game from South Korea, so they apparently they were just playing.
Not sure playing League of Legends.
Oh, I had friends that used to be really into that game.
Oh yeah.
Well, and like
it's super popular in Korea.
We had an exchange student that played that like all the time.
Carlos had asked earlier. He said, he was in Paris last week. No signs of civil war. What did I miss? I'm sure the martial law thing, because it was pretty short lived. It only went for a matter of hours, and there's a lot of other stuff involved around it. And probably unless you lived in the South Korean capital, you probably had absolutely no idea that anything like that was going on at all. The same with like France is currently they're getting ready to dissolve their government, which apparently happens regularly. So they all get elected and then they come together, and if they can't agree on certain terms to how they're going to run shit, then they just dissolve it. And it's okay, we're not doing this. Come back to the drawing board, try again.
Honestly, I kind of would prefer something like that.
Yeah, okay, I'm cool with this.
there's a lot of places that do shit. So my sister at one point was going to move to Holland a long time ago. She had a man over there, like, getting married, whatever. And I was talking to her about it. This was, 12 years ago now. And she said, yeah, like their national debt or something hit like 2 or 3% of like their GDP or something. And so they shut the whole government down. And I'm like, isn't ours like, and she's like, yeah. Like we're way beyond like 2 to 3% or whatever it is so conservative compared to what we run at. And for them, they like shut their whole fucking government down until they can get a hold of that insane which, oh my God, that sounds like good, like budgeting and governance, like, hold on, we have a debt we can't pay. Let's shut this shit down and figure it out. We're like, go harder, more debt,
Spend more money.
Government actually working like that.
Being responsible.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we've got the Federal Reserve. It's like you can't make money without spending money. Spend more. Hey, what?
And money you don't have, we don't care.
Wait, I don't think that's what that saying means exactly. Somebody skipped all the rest of the context for that in the econ book. It's like
you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah,
but I didn't make any money. We didn't make any money. Well, by that logic, I didn't spend any. Have a nice night.
That's right. Spend more. It means we didn't spend enough. Keep spending.
Just keep forgiving my dad. As long as you forgive my dad.
Yeah, so like the France stuff is 100% going to be happening within like their parliament, and the old prime minister resigned, and Macron refused to accept his resignation, and then had to accept his resignation. So then Macron appointed a new prime minister who immediately came in absolutely loathed, has decided to push through a bunch of shit that none of the rest of the parliament wants. And so if he goes through with it, they're going to put forth a vote of no confidence to have him removed and to dissolve the current government. And I think they've got until like Thursday, maybe. And like if they don't have a budget agreement in place, then it'll go to a vote of no confidence, and they'll just like dissolve the whole thing. And however that exactly works, I've got a couple articles pulled up, and I was gonna talk about it on my own show today, but I need to look more into what happens after they do that. Like, I've got all these stuff on like what comes to that point, but what actually happens after that, I'm not really 100% sure on.
But yeah, with the South Korea thing though, so apparently the reason he was declaring martial law is because there are a lot of suspected like North Korean like basically defectors that are coming there and infiltrating the government is what his suspicion was. And
I mean, I know
they're
Trey,
like,
I know Johnny Somali's an asshole, but the man.
Look, all they had to do was, I was watching a video talking about it. They were like, "Yep, this is God is smiting South Korea for the sins of jailing Johnny Somali." It's like, oh. But Johnny Somali at this point, I really don't care what would happen to him. Unfortunately.
Oh God, I hope they fucking execute him Singapore style.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
So there's this guy, Johnny Somali. So what he does is he's I don't know how he.
Oh, we played that video.
He comes into other countries. Yeah, the one where he gets punched in the face by the Korean.
No,
guy.
the one where the South Korean cop keeps calling him.
Yeah.
No, the cop was saying you. He wasn't saying a racial slur. That's the Korean word for you.
Yeah.
It's his fault for thinking it was racist.
Yeah, but so that was the where he got he got he got knocked out and whatever, and then so
they still have him in jail.
Yeah, he's in jail.
Well, this is also after he did that fucking stunt with the fucking Comfort Women statue, that memorial.
Mm-hmm.
When the Japanese occupied and raped all their women, he kind of desecrated that statue too.
Isn't he the same dude that walked
they execute drug dealers? Like,
isn't he the same guy that walked into some dude's house?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. No, I have no problem with that dude being executed. Okay, good deal. Problems are being solved around the world.
Look, he's been just going to every country that he can, whatever, and just like dicking with
being an asshole.
Person. Yeah, and like just doing whatever.
Try that in a small town.
Yeah, try it in a small town. I love.
We don't need some Independence Day type of thing to bring the world together. I think if we took care of him, like all the countries would agree and be friends.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
the world will heal itself.
The menace is gone.
All right, look, motherfuckers. If I can see pavement between you and the car in front of you, you're not going fast enough. Push up the line. Come on.
Or you're not tailgating hard enough.
Right. We all trying to get out of this bullshit.
So speaking of foreign countries, our friends to the north are having fun in their campaign.
We got donuts over here if you want to thank you for your hard work.
I can bring some for my kids here.
Okay. The 25% tariffs we just brought in on Chinese steel is going to help you out.
That's going to keep my job, What about the 40% taxes I'm paying? And I don't have a doctor?
The $400 million we invest in the card means you're going to have a job for...
He just ignores them.
We won't see her out another year.
That's what
I love that he gets bullied every day in his own country.
You know, I gotta give him some props though for even being out there in front of the actual people. I've never seen Kamala Harris really want to be in front of actual people.
Yeah, I pay for it myself.
Okay.
Say that again.
I said I gotta give him some props. Like he's got some balls to be out there among the actual people instead of like just hiding.
Yeah, he's not hiding in his basement. He's not hiding.
They
in his
also
basement.
confiscated most of their guns.
This guy's whining about getting free dentistry and stuff, but I do understand, like, if you're paying for it, if you're being taxed to pay for it, you should be able to get it.
I was gonna say, on the one hand, yes, like we
pay for all those Indians they're bringing into Ontario.
Right. On the one hand, we're like, oh, how dumb and gay is it that he's crying about like not being able to get a doctor and having to pay for his own dentist work? It's like, yeah, I mean, we have private insurance or you work through. Or you get insurance through the company that you work for, and it takes care of that. And it's like, oh my gosh, you have to like actually pay for something. Except that their taxes are supposed to provide all of that. Like this is that amazing like Canadian free healthcare that
best single payer.
That all the fucking commies talk about how great it is and how we need to go to that for the U.S. It's like that. Like just listen to the people in Canada who complain about all that stuff. I remember I was at a big meeting back early on when I got out of college and was working stuff. And they had some of the guys from some of the Canadian facilities were at the big meeting. And we got to talking and stuff. And they were like, yeah, like people who actually have money, they're like, we don't go to doctors in Canada. They're like, we hop across to the U.S. and go to doctors on the U.S. side because we can actually like get taken care of and get good service. They're like the only people that go to the doctor in Canada are the poor people, and there's so many of them that are at the doctor that you'll never get taken care of. And I mean, 20 years later, I guess it's not 20 years, but 17 years later, like now they're offering assisted suicide as opposed to healthcare because they can't take care of everybody.
But this has been going on for a long time. I mean, there's a whole bunch of doctors' offices right over in Detroit, right over the bridge, that are there just for Canadians. In Michigan, they're there just because the Canadians are coming over there for their doctor's appointments.
And then we go south of the border to Mexico for our cheap doctoring.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing like when, someone would be like, oh, like Ron Paul's collecting Social Security, but I thought he was against all that. What a hypocrite. It's like, well, he paid for it. Like, he paid into it. Like, of course he could fucking collect it. You know what I mean? Like, the same thing. It's like, yeah, dude, like, that's supposed to be one of the promises of government. Because that's the thing that, like, like pisses like me / us off about like government is like there's things that they supposedly claim they're supposed to do for us that they do an absolutely horrible job or the opposite, protection, I don't know, whatever the fuck else they're supposed to do. I guess that's about it, huh?
Also, like, you gotta be realistic.
They're the ones I'm afraid of.
Government is supposed to be about protection and provisioning of its people. And if you're not protecting and making sure that your people are taken care of, like then other than that, like you like that's your primary focus. Like anything else is like bullshit external stuff, you know.
Unless you're run by Israel.
Yeah.
So,
or the rest.
Speaking of, now we know why South Koreans declared martial laws to stop this stuff. That hook nose right there.
I like that song. Why'd you turn it off?
Oh, we have an infiltrator, guys.
No, I'm just saying I speak like every fourth word Korean.
Ah. Good deal.
Yeah. Josh can translate.
So you only understand.
As long as you don't want to know everything that they're saying. Like,
So you only understand about a quarter of what your wife's saying?
That would be the dream.
I told you guys about the Chinese lady at Thanksgiving who.
Yeah, Steve found out my secret. I don't have to tune her out if I don't know what she's saying.
Did I tell you guys about the Chinese lady at the Thanksgiving I went to who thought that the marshmallows on the sweet potato casserole with cheese? Like, oh, look at all the cheese. Like, no, sweetie. That's marshmallow. Sweet cheese.
That's funny.
I think it was her first American Thanksgiving.
Would cheese be? I just don't see cheese being good. No.
Cream cheese maybe could
Well,
be
I
a
don't think she knew it was
substitute.
sweet.
Yeah.
I don't think she knew what any of the food. I mean, okay, think about Thanksgiving food like in general. All right, you've got.
Hello.
We lost Dag.
Well, I mean, Thanksgiving is one of those holidays that's uniquely American.
Great. You got like a cord. You go to an alien. Like you go to China and look at their food. Like it's just like, what the fuck is this? And it all looks the same. So I don't think she knew it was sweet potato casserole. She just thought it was some dish covered in melted cheese, which she's probably seen a lot of living in America. We like to melt cheese on stuff. So it was probably a relatively safe assumption, albeit wrong. Like I said before too on the show, but it was our Thanksgiving night show, so nobody was there. That like she sort of like came prepped with like, I already ate a little earlier, so I'm not very hungry. Like in case she didn't want to eat any of the stuff. I thought it was smart of her.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going somewhere where you don't know if you're gonna like the food, I always just eat a little bit beforehand. So
I mean, okay. Did she bring like egg rolls or fried rice? I mean, like.
No, she brought a honey baked ham. It was delicious.
See, that's not no. I want like the real thing, man. Bring me some like shrimp fried rice, egg rolls.
No.
Asians love those big hams. Trust me.
No, you're supposed to assimilate. Look.
No.
Steve. Do I need to deport you, Steve? Jesus Christ.
I will say that is assimilating.
Sure.
The honey baked ham is very American.
More warm, please.
I'll send you to Mexico. That'll be fine.
Oh God, that'd be amazing right now. It's like 20 degrees here.
I'm not sending you the good part of Mexico either.
I'll take either part of Mexico. I don't care.
Steve can fend for himself. He's a tough dude.
It's a little warmer there than it is here.
Yeah, I mean, Steve's around Detroit, so surely he could survive.
I'm not around.
Yeah, I mean, sure
Detroit.
they got guns and stuff in Mexico, but they're like 5
hours
foot tall.
away.
Steve could take them.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Speaking of government efficiency, let's see what Biden has to say about how efficient our government is being.
Oh God.
That's the right thing for the wealthiest nation in the world to do. And today, I'm announcing over $1 billion in new humanitarian support for Africans displaced from homes by historic droughts and food insecurity. We know African leaders and citizens are seeking more than just aid. You seek investment.
Steve, no.
The United States is expanding.
They don't need clean drinking water.
Africa, from assistance to aid, investment to trade, moving from patrons to partners to help bridge the infrastructure gap.
Moving from patron, that's an interesting use of even though I know it's not Biden, it's the teleprompter telling him to say that. That's interesting language though. Like moving from patrons to partners. So instead of us just giving them something. So how are we partner? What are we partnering with African countries on?
Rare earth minerals.
I'm saying the last time the white people were partnering with Africans, it resulted in a whole lot of them being brought over here on some big boats.
Rhodesia was kind of cool
Yeah,
for
but
a
who
while
owned the
until the
boats?
commies ruined it.
Justin, who owned the boats?
It was something recently from South America or somewhere, and it's the same thing. It's like, oh, we're doing this great thing to help this small. It's like, no. You're giving it's somehow a cronyist transfer to like some American country. And same thing with this. It's like rare earth metals or whatever. We were watching this
talking about the
movie.
railroad thing.
Yeah. It's always Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Great fucking book. The guy who used to like do this shit. But dude, so we were watching this movie. It's got Owen Wilson in it, which is crazy enough, and Pierce Brosnan. This is like an action movie, but it's called No Escape. I think it's from like 2014. Have you guys ever seen it?
I think I remember seeing the commercial, but I don't.
I have not seen
It's pretty good, and we started off, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like that book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman, and then Pierce Brosnan, who's like a CIA guy, like basically says halfway through, like, yeah, like it's what we're doing. He's like, Owen Wilson's character, he like works for like this company that makes like water purification systems or water systems for municipalities or whatever, and they just got this big contract to come help the people of like Laos or some small Asian country. I didn't catch which one, next to Vietnam, and to help them out with their water system. And so he moves his whole family there. And like the night that they like arrive, there's like a coup, and like they kill like the leadership and like the coup. They're like, all these foreigners coming in trying to make profit off our people are gonna die. So that's him, But he didn't realize it. He's like, yeah, I just thought we were doing something, good, helping them with their water. And Pierce Brosnan's like, no, I set all this shit up. Like we give them this big loan to do all this great stuff. They can't pay it back, and then we come in and take all their resources. It's the way we operate. It's the way that the government and the corporations operate. And it's the way it's operated for a long time. I'm like, yeah, like that's what I was saying. This is exactly what they were doing. But then I was like, man, what a horrifying. It's one of the reasons I don't want to go to a third world country or some shit, man. What if some shit happens like that while you're there? Like they show up at night, everything's fine. The next morning, kill all the foreigners.
That's why China controls so many ports in Africa. They did the same thing, giving out loans they can't pay back.
Yep. It's the way she goes.
Yeah, but China, I mean, at least they built roads. Like we just bought new warlords for them. That's all.
Like I said, Rhodesia was a paradise until commies.
That's what government's for, building roads. and protecting. That's something we forgot to mention earlier. Not just protecting its people, building roads. I think that might be the most important thing.
That was under my blanket. Like I was, protecting and provisioning for the people. Like, maybe you have to build a road.
Yeah, you got to build a road or two. Throw them a road or two, some crumbs.
Yeah, some crumbs for the peasants there. Yeah.
I just like it if they would finish one of these roads. Like, why do we have to start construction on a new one when we haven't even finished the one that we're already working on?
Finish a damn road.
Oh, it was funny as fuck. They changed the. Okay, so this is the really funny thing. They've got an entire one side of this rural highway out here shut down. So everything is diverted to the other side. So they're running both lanes of traffic on the one side. Well, they had to change the traffic flow a little bit because part of the side that they've got us driving on was so fucked up that they had to divert traffic onto the shoulder to fix one piece because it was so bad. But they did it very abruptly. They didn't announce it or anything. It was just you come out one night or come out the next morning and the cones are now different. But there's nobody out working on it yet. It's just 6 a.m. and the cone patterns are different. And this dude just drives straight through the fucking cones. Just takes the whole row of cones out from where they moved them from the night before because the cones had always been over here and now they're over here. And dude wasn't even paying attention. Just takes most through the whole line of cones. That was fucking awesome.
Oh, you seen it?
I was behind him. I was 3 cars behind him. Dude just just takes the whole fucking row of cones out. Yes.
We had that happen at work one time. Some broad came like flying by, jumping over the speed bumps, and hit one of our cones, and it like wrapped up her tire and got stuck in her fender. And then she pulled over and like backed up. She's like, "Hey, my car's making a sound." I'm like, "You just ran over a cone." It's like, "What?"
What? What do you mean I ran over a cone?
I keep hitting people with the long end. I'm in an old
short end, I guess.
Yeah, I'm in an old Corolla right now. My car is being funny, so I borrowed it from the in-laws for
Funny,
the week.
haha.
Huh?
Funny, haha.
Funny
like
what?
How is it funny?
What I say is funny.
I'm making a casino reference. My bad, dude.
Oh boy.
No, yeah, I was like, I didn't know I said something was funny. But my in-laws let me borrow this car, and of all the things they told me about it, they neglected to mention that the seatbelt doesn't really function. And like, I hooked it up, and like I'm driving, like first day I'm using, I'm about an hour and a half into my trip, and seatbelt just just comes flying out of the buckle. I was like, holy shit, what's going on? I hit him up, like, is there a trick to the seatbelt? He's like, nah, you just sit on it so it looks like you're wearing it. I'm like, oh, okay. So let me know. See how much they love me. They're trying to off me.
Trying to get rid of you.
Somebody else. Sorry, they'll buckle. I'm gonna fix it for them. It's only like $7. It must happen a lot. If it ever arrives, I gotta go raise hell at the post office. Either that or Steve only pretended to send me coffee.
Oh, you got
it. What did it say, Steve? Like Saturday?
I don't know. I don't know why it's taking so long. The post office is like, this time of year they get wonky.
It's like it's that time of year.
I know it's a busy time of year.
It's funny though. I get some packages that I'm like that they got here like way faster than I expected, and then other packages I'm like, oh, this should have been here already. Like it's I know where the distribution, like where they're sending it from, like that should be,
The funny thing is, I have one that was I have probably 3 that are being delivered to Florida that are all delayed. But I have one that I sent out the day after yours to Orlando, and that one's already there.
Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense.
Well, at least you don't.
Yeah, mine said it was in Tampa.
Yeah, well.
Go ahead.
At least you don't have some like asshole dog that just like showed up on your property one day that chews up every package that gets delivered and put on your porch.
There's a solution for stray dogs.
Yeah, we already talked about that this morning. The wife wasn't happy. I'm like, I can do the humane thing. I'll drop it off in Kentucky.
Are the women going to cook them?
Oh, I thought you guys were going to eat it.
You know how those Asians are with dogs.
Steve, stop being offensive. They're Koreans. They eat cats.
Sorry, excuse me.
They're Vietnamese that eat the dogs.
They're eating the cats, and they're eating the dog.
Oh, speaking of, did you see where that chick got like 30 months in jail for eating the cat?
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you don't fuck with animals.
Remember the whole like eating the dog,
the video,
eating the cats thing, and there was actually a video of some chick like eating a cat, or the guy was like, "Did you eat the cat?" And, and that chick got arrested. Like this was where the whole thing like stemmed from. So apparently that chick got sentenced. Like she got 30 months in jail or something. Apparently that wasn't the only cat that she had eaten.
Oh my God, no!
The serial cat eater.
No.
Mittens, no.
I bet she had some kind of like rat, disease, some kind of worm or something disease,
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I think it just if you come from some place like that, you probably have parasites. That sounds offensive, but it's probably true. Plenty of Americans get parasites too, guys. Relax.
Hey, you're using too many words. Just say Haiti.
Yeah. They are parasites.
Yes.
I had friends that lived in South Florida. It's not like an out of the ordinary behavior.
To get parasites?
So instead of making sure that they're all up to date on like their COVID shots and stuff, whenever they come here from other countries, just give them give them a shot of ivermectin as soon as they show up. It's like, yeah, just to be on the safe side.
My sister got worms one time when she was younger. She's having like weird like stomach issues and like went to like 6 doctors and no doctors could figure it out. And then doing research on the internet, like her and my mom figured it out. And they went and said, "We want you to test for this." And they're like, "Oh yeah, you got worms." And they gave her some stuff to fix it right up.
How do you get rid of worms? Seriously,
ivermectin.
Ivermectin, like.
Yeah, it's just an oral. Yeah, it's an oral something you take. Yeah.
Just antibacterial.
You know, I mean. Yeah, and then there's stuff like like for animals. Yeah, like we feed like our goats like pine needles and shit sometimes, and like pumpkin seeds and stuff like that. It's supposed to have natural properties against it. But yeah, I'm sure she just got some fucking pills or something.
Dude, one of my buddies I used to work with got it one time. He got worms, and I'm like, dude, you're in your 30s. How the fuck did you get worms? So I don't know, man. We still don't know where it came from. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing that you're that fucking filthy and got worms?
With all the animal feces I handle,
with the goat.
It would not surprise me if I got worms at some point.
That's more.
That makes and shit, but.
That makes more sense, Dag. This guy doesn't have animals or anything. Like, he's a city guy.
Yeah, that's disturbing. Yeah, it's like, are you eating what's in the litter box? Yeah, that'd be my thought. A cat.
If he has a cat.
Just walking. People let those things walk on their counters and shit. Yuck.
Yeah, cats are disgusting animals.
Like I like cats, but I don't like litter boxes.
No, cats are evil.
I like cats outside. We have outdoor cats. I'm cool with outdoor cats.
We've got 2 outside cats, and the other day when we were hanging out in the garage watching football and stuff, both of the cats were outside, like right outside the door of the garage. And so every time Stephanie would like go out to go use the bathroom or something, or go back to the house and get something, she'd come back and she'd be like, "Cats are both right outside. You could really use a garage cat." I was like, "Absolutely fucking not." Like, the last thing I want is to smell a fucking litter box in here. Like, those things stay outside.
Yuck.
I'm not doing it.
There's a couple rare exceptions, which might be like a bodega cat or something, like for mice. Or my parents on their sailboat, they had a cat. Again, same thing for like rodents and shit. But they had to have a litter box for that because it's on a fucking boat. My dad used to tell me a story one time, the litter box falling over, and he was like working on the diesel motor, and like the litter box fell like on top of him, and he's all covered in like diesel fuel, and it's all stuck to him and shit. Yeah. Oh my god, most horrible thing ever.
I would have killed every cat within sight. Look, see,
I've never had a cat again.
I'm like massively allergic to cats, so. But if we had property, I would love to have like a barn cat or a couple on the property, but I don't want.
Yeah, I mean they're so useful, and I mean from afar they're cool. Hey, what's up? There's that cat. Hey, leave me alone. Stay over there. Because cats are aloof anyhow.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat, But yeah, dude, the thought of having a litter box to maintain and clean. The only other thing that I could think of is like if I lived in some god awful place, not by choice, like New York City. It's like having a dog for a pet is kind of a nightmare because like the walking it and everything in a fucking city with an apartment, like that sounds awful. So like, maybe at that point I might consider getting a cat because I'm a softie and I need an animal. But yeah. Cleaning a litter box. Yuck.
Yeah.
No matter what they smell.
We had the ferrets, and the ferrets used the litter box, and it was disgusting. But I also really loved my ferrets. And it was a little bit different. But also, since they died, I have really not had any desire to get new ones or let it. Like, the kids let one of the cats stay in the house last winter. And as soon as it warmed up, they were like, "All right, you're back the fuck out." Like, they also were not big fans of the litter boxes. Yeah.
We had, like, indoor-outdoor cats when I was a kid. Where, like we'd let them inside, but then like let them outside, so like they didn't have a litter box, and they didn't get on our counters and shit either. They were like well behaved. But yeah.
And the people that have litter boxes in their house, no matter what they say, their house smells like piss and shit.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
Smells like cats.
Yeah,
Yep.
It smells like yeah, it's just awful. I don't care what anybody says, it stinks.
Oh, that was the worst thing about dating back in the day is like, 80% of the girls you date have a fucking cat. You walk in and go, "Oh, fuck, you got a cat, huh?" Yeah. Even if it's not, like you said, even if it's not that bad. Like even if they really do their best, it still just smells like fucking cats. Oh, it smells like animals go to the bathroom in your house. Which right now my house smells like that because we're rearing a puppy. So I'm sure our house stinks right now too. But she's getting better. She's getting better. We really just need to do a good, thorough, deep cleaning here. She doesn't poop in the house or anything, but she does the excited pees. You know, when you come home, she pees on the floor. I don't think she can help it.
You just got to beat her.
What's the line from The Simpsons? Where Homer's trying to be the instead of not issuing enough savage beatings. Homer's trying to be the trash man, and he's like animals are crapping in our houses, and we're picking it up. That's not America. Hell, that's not even Mexico.
That was a good episode too.
The garbage man.
Yeah, it was one of the newer ones, but it was good. Yeah, the garbage man can, exactly.
It was pretty well done.
If you want a public servant who's knows what he's doing, blah blah blah, elect me. But if you want someone who's going to make all sorts of promises that they're never going to be able to keep and makes you feel good about yourself, then by all means, elect this guy. And then it's like Simpson wins at landslide.
Was it Ray Patterson? Was that the guy's
politics. Name? I don't know. It might have been. That sounds right.
I think it was Ray Patterson.
Man, all I gotta say is democracy is pretty.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.